Okay, guys, so it is late, but I think I found something tonight and I need to get it off my chest so I can remember it and study it some more. So here's the story. I've had a lot of trouble with this very, very basic problem. When I go to enter a, a high level guard passer's legs, I run into a problem. If I enter with regular Ashigurami or single leg X, or I've run into this from full X guard as well. The guy, typically a bigger guy, will take the leg that I'm attacking, specifically the knee of the leg that I'm attacking, and put his knee across my body, putting a lot of chest pressure and making it very hard for me to actually put any kind of threat on his heel. And I have watched a little bit of sleep trying to come up with a solution to this. And I think I might have stumbled on one. I've used this particular, we'll call it an entry, in a couple of other cases, and it's worked well. But this is the first time I've applied it to this problem, and it worked pretty well. I did not execute it perfectly. There's definitely some things that I would change here, but it's not a problem with this specific entry. It's more of a problem with my execution of it. I'll explain that in a minute. It probably sounds suspicious, and it probably should be suspicious of such things. Here we go. So Jordan, great training partner, has taught me a lot. Comes up onto my single leg X guard. Now, let's notice a couple of things. Jordan's controlling both of my wrists. He's doing this so that I can't supplement my connection with my right hand, and so that I can't reach after his heel with my left. So my left hand, his grip on my left hand is going to be the most important one here. So, what about it? I'm just going to run through this freeze frame. It's a very quick clip, so we're not going to bother playing it. He's going to let go of the lesser of the two grips, the less important of the two grips. Keep in mind, if he lets go of my left hand, then I'm in on his heel immediately. So he's going to let go of my right hand and start to set up a lens lock on my left foot. Now, luckily for us, or luckily for me, he and I have discussed this particular counter to single leg X pretty recently, and so I kind of felt it coming. So he's going to make a decision here. It's going to be very hard for him to finish this lens lock while he also has a hold of my left hand. So while he puts his right hand over the top of my foot trying to set up this lens lock, I switch to a pushing grip, and I start to pull my foot out of there, and I get top hand grip with my left hand, and I pull my foot out. This is typically where I transition to a full X guard. Now, something that makes this hard is, as a part of this transition, you have to do two things at once. You have to pummel your legs into an X guard position, but arguably the more important, equally important of the two, is you need to go from an Achilles grip, which, keep in mind, I didn't have because Jordan had a hold of my wrist. You need to go from an Achilles grip to a scoop grip. So you can see here, as we run it forward, I bring my left hand down and I start to go for this scoop grip. But here's the problem. Jordan has so much knee pressure across my chest that it's going to be difficult for me to pull his leg off of my chest. So we run into this problem. From here, what he's going to look to do is put his right knee down to the floor on my right side, and you can see him start to do that here. He starts to drive that leg across. Now I have no meaningful connection to his right leg, and therefore I can't threaten his heel, or threaten his knee via heel hook, that is. So I'm framing here. This is a defense that I've had a lot of guys that I can't leg lock do to me. And again, I've thought long and hard about how to counter this. So, right here you see me framing on Jordan's upper body just to keep him from crushing my chest in with my left hand, and I'm framing on his far leg with my right. So, we're going to run this forward. I start to pummel my right leg up against the back of his left leg. His right foot comes off onto the inside, what will become the inside. Now, I'm not incredibly flexible, and it helps with this move to be flexible. It just does. But I'm able to, as he starts to put a lot of pressure on my arm, I'm able to pummel my right foot in between Jordan's two legs. Now, again, I'm not going to act like you don't need to be somewhat flexible to do this. You definitely do. The part of my body that's the furthest off the ground is my butt. That's a hard thing to do if you're not flexible. But I'm able to put my right foot in between his legs and enter, for just a moment, backside 50-50. And I've got his right heel sticking up in the air. So to recap, we went from a spot where I'm getting crushed to me pommeling into one of the most advantageous leg locking positions in the sport. Now, Jordan does the correct thing and he back steps. And we end up in what I've heard Gordon call mutual ashi, except actually that's not that. This is not the position we're in. The position we're in actually is I'm in outside ashi. Jordan actually has me in outside ashi because I've pummeled us here. Now, here's where I could have done better. You can see right here, my right leg needs to go to Jordan's right side. Instead, I don't hook the leg. And my right leg ends up on his left side, putting me in outside ashi. Now, outside ashi is not the worst position you can be in. You can very easily counterattack from there. And as we roll forward, I end up negating this problem by putting my knee on Jordan's hip, then replacing it with my foot, pushing his torso away as I feed my right foot across, and I build a proper 50-50. That problem can be fixed on the entry. That entry can be a lot tighter. But the value of it, at least for tonight, is going to be going from this position that is not great. I was there, I felt it, to pummeling the bottom leg around and through into an advantageous leg locking position. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. I'm going to have to come back and study this some more, but that's all for tonight. Thanks for watching.